Hello everyone, I'm Himalay Bhatia and I welcome you to the 13th episode of TFA Talks, a podcast wherein we discuss about the market outlook and pressing matters. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel or if you're someone new to our channel, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, my schedule for today is to discuss what happened in Nifty and Bank Nifty today, share my views on Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow and for the coming days, identify stocks which have a potential good trade in them, and finally and most importantly, to give you a piece of advice that will help you protect your capital in the current market situation. It is a very important piece of advice, so make sure to stay till the end of this video. All right. Now, before I start off with the indices, let me quickly cover the status of the trades we have already mentioned in our previous episodes. So, yesterday itself, in our yesterday's episode, HDFC Life Insurance is something which was covered, and the target of about 1 to 2% was given. And today, it made a high of 591.50, which was well within the targets. And that was a really easy and achievable trade. All right. The second trade that we had given was Colgate. Now, Colgate was being asked to add in your portfolio quite some time ago. And it was also discussed on the top 50 stocks to trade in November video. And today it finally gave a move with about 6% on the upside. A very easy trade, and people have benefited a lot on this one. Really good profits. Finally, our favorite stock, that is Reliance. Reliance was asked to short below 2200 round number psychological level with targets of 2120, 2070, and finally 2000. And the first two targets were achieved, that is your 21,000, 2120 and 2070. However, the third target was just shy of 5 rupees, which is not a big deal for Reliance. Again, this was a really great trade. All right, so these were the few trades of the plethora of trades that we have already shared with you. And if you benefited of these trades, make sure to like that button, like this video. All right. Without further ado, let me walk you through the indices as to what had happened today and what can we expect in the coming days in Nifty, and also give you few strategies to trade Nifty and Bank Nifty. All right. So for that, let me open up my Nifty charts, and I'll be going for the internals, that is your 15-minute charts. Now, I must say that Nifty did open pretty strong, but then it made a low of 11,723. But later, it again, the market absorbed these corrections. Now, the point I want to bring in over here is that despite the global meltdown, Nifty corrections were absorbed. Now, why did this happen? So, the primary reason being the MSCI index reports. Now, what is your MSCI? MSCI stands for Morgan Stanley Capital Index, which includes MSCI in emerging markets and MSCI Frontier Markets Index. Now, what happens when MSCI index, uh, what happens with MSCI index is that it is reviewed on a quarterly basis. And basis these reviews, what happened is Morgan Stanley has projected an infusion of $2.5 billion in your stocks like Asian Paints, Bajaj Finance, Britannia, L&T, Nestle, and we had also, put up a post about this on our Instagram page as well. And when I say $2.5 billion, it is a cumulative $2.5 billion that I'm talking about. All right. So this was something which was celebrated today. Now, let me give you what is the importance of MSCI. MSCI plays a very vital role. When Airtel was excluded from the index due to the NSDL mismatch, the stock plunged from its rupees 700, rupees 600 levels. And today, when the news of the inflow came in, it was heavily celebrated. And thus, all your stocks like Asian Paints, your Nestle, all L&T, all were giving big moves. And over and above this news, the media reports of the financial minister meeting our prime minister to discuss about the stimulus package was also celebrated. So today there was a lot of positive developments in your Nifty, and thus we saw an up move in your Nifty today. All right. So this was a fundamental check on Nifty. Now let's talk about the technicals. Now technicals is slightly skewed on the upside. All right, because Nifty has been halting on the highs for quite some time now. And what do I expect for tomorrow? What do I expect in Nifty for tomorrow? So if the market opens flat, I will suggest you to buy small quantities above 11,940 with a target of 12,020. And if there is a gap up opening, I would suggest to wait a little, wait for the retest before you buy these small quantities with the target of 12,020. However, if I look at a broader perspective or a broader aspect of Nifty and Bank Nifty, mainly Nifty over here. So let me tell you one advice or one tip that the market always tends to follow. So the market always tends to work in the following fashion. First, there will be a volatile scenario, followed by a consolidation, followed by a trending market. So the volatile period of the Nifty was from your 31st August till around 9th October to 11th October. We can see I have marked it over here 31st October, around 9th or 11th of October or 12th of October, right? And after that, what has happened is the Nifty has started consolidating between a range of 12,000 and 11,650. Now, these are very important levels for your Nifty, and the market has just been revolving between them. Finally, after a consolidation, what can we expect? So once it gives a break on either side, maybe above 12,000 or below 650, we can expect a trending market for the days to come. All right, so that was my view on Nifty, and now let's move on to Bank Nifty. What should we expect in Bank Nifty? So before I talk about what we should expect in Bank Nifty, let me again just discuss as to what had happened today in Bank Nifty. Now, before covering the technical ground, let me first talk about the fundamental ground. The players in the market have gained quite some confidence in the banking sector. The reason being A, the spectacular results that the banks are posting. Today, Kotak turned out to be a hero in Bank Nifty, and I think it was up around 12%. HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and Axis Bank were about 1.5 to 3% up today. So these are the stocks that are keeping the banking sector up. The good results. The second very important reason is that the Reserve Bank of India has asked all the lending institutions to implement the government scheme to grant ex gratia payment of difference between the compound interest and the simple interest of for 6 months to the borrowers till the 31st of August. All right. So these are the two indicators that are stabilizing this sector, and thus we see an upbeat sentiment in Bank Nifty. Now let's talk about the technicals. Bank Nifty is looking very strong. Today you can see a heavy buying has happened in Bank Nifty. So today it opened around your 24,300 levels, took support around 23,900 levels, and later went on to close till your 24,770 levels. That is approximately a 800 point jump from its low. And if you also look at the RSI tends to take a support around your 58 levels, which is very important for your Bank Nifty. Please note it down. And for your Nifty, since I did not mention it earlier, for your Nifty, 52 levels is something which is very important. All right. Now let's get back to Bank Nifty. Now, this was something which is very interesting, 800 point jump, which is showing a lot of strength in this sector. So what do we expect for tomorrow? So if the market opens flat tomorrow, I will suggest to buy small quantities above 24,800 with a target of 25,000 followed by a second target of 25,200. So we have the levels over here, and I think you should, in the current market situation, just follow the levels and stop forecasting as to what can happen in the future. Now, the important piece of advice that I'd like to share with all of you. Despite all the levels, my word of advice for you all in relation to the current market scenario will be to either completely not trade in the market or even if you wish to participate, then trade the levels with minimum quantities until the US presidential elections are conducted. It is certainly not the right time to be hungry for returns. I'm telling you honestly, not the right time. And the US presidential elections are held exactly 7 days from today, and it will have a direct impact on the direction of the Indian markets. Thus, I think it is the best time to sit on cash. Uh, Many of our mentorship clients, as well as us, have liquidated a lot of a portfolio. We are sitting on a cash. The reason being, like I told you, once the important events like your moratorium verdict, which is on the 2nd of November, and followed by your US presidential elections, which is November 3rd, once the effect of these major events are factored in, then I think it is the right time to enter and invest and trade in the markets like crazy. So we will be keeping you updated on that as well. Now, finally, let's talk about a few stocks that I have in mind or on my radar to trade for tomorrow and the coming few days. So let's talk about Hero Motocorp. Hero Motocorp, again, I had given a short call on this one as well, around 32 to 23 levels to our mentorship clients, and you can see the good fall after that. However, my trade over here for you is something new. All right. Hero MotoCorp has made a doji and it is also at its support level. And tomorrow, if the bulls are established in this stock, if there are buyers for the stock, then I will suggest you to buy the stock, provided there are good volumes, and buy the stock with a target of 2980, followed by a second target of 3060, followed by a third target of 3125. Now, these are also your Fibonacci levels. I've already plotted the Fibonacci over here. Fibonacci table over here works wonderfully. All right. The second stock that I will recommend you to trade is Tata Motors. Now, Tata Motors had posted terrible results, nothing great today. So, what I will suggest is if the stock breaks your 140 level, then I will suggest to buy the stock with a target of 145. And on the downside, if the stock breaks the level of rupees 130, sell with a target of 122. Not one of the best trades, but yes, if you are a risk seeker, I will suggest you to take a trade in this. The next one is something uh, which we all talk about quite frequently is Bharti Airtel. Now, Bharti Airtel was also recommended to our clients at the 400 levels. We had asked them to buy with a target of 420 followed by a target of 430. Both the targets were hit. Absolutely stunning trade, and people made a lot of profit over here. Now let's talk about the current situation. Again, it is at its resistance level with, and it's showing, it's creating dojis, and it is also showing rejection on on these levels. So I will suggest to sell below 427.50 with a target of 420 followed by 400. Finally, again, coming back to our favorite stock, Reliance. Now, Reliance again has created a doji, gone in the oversold zone and almost entering the normal zone on RSI. So, what I will do is tomorrow I will wait for a buyer's confirmation in the stock. Provided there are good volumes, I will take a trade with the targets of 2070 followed by 2120. The lines are already plotted over here. The resistance, these are basically your resistance levels, and thus these are your target one, target two. All right. So these were a few stocks in my radar. That is all for today. Do show us your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. And if you have any feedback, please mention it in the comment box below. Also, make sure to join our WhatsApp group for details. Please DM us on our Instagram page at The Financial Analyst. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.